Today we are in the craft test lab testing out Speedball's new product, Puff Ink. We will mix this with the regular fabric ink, screen print it using an Ikonart stencil, and then heat it with a heat gun to get the puff effect. And then I will also see how it holds up in a wash test. So if you're interested in learning more about this fun new product, keep watching.
Okay, so the first thing to do is mix our ink, and the container says to mix 30% by weight. Normally this is something that I would just eyeball, but since we are doing a craft test lab, I figured I better make it exact. So I'll just zero out my container, and I'm gonna be making black today, so I'm just using Speedball's regular fabric black. And the container also did say the shelf life is indefinite, so if I make this ink and mix it up, it should stay good. So I'm just going to make more than I need for one shirt. I'll just make quite a bit. Then I'll have black puff ink if I ever want to make a puff ink project later on. That looks probably like plenty. So I'm just gonna go to Google and type in 30% of 1.3 ounces. And it's just about 0.4 ounces. So I will add in 0.4 ounces of my puff ink. All right, there's 0.4 ounces. Then I will just stir that up. So once I have this completely stirred and combined and mixed up, then we'll be ready to use it. The next step is to add our designs to our fabric. So I'm gonna be using an Ikonart stencil today. So I'm just cutting a little notch so I know which side to return the backer to. So of course I have my tacky mat, and I'm just gonna hold down my bib while I'm screen printing, makes it a little bit easier. And then I'll just quickly add my designs using my puff ink. Just add my stencil. Add the ink I just mixed up. And basically this part the process is exactly like any other shirt I would screen print using Ikonart and Speedball ink. I'm just gliding my squeegee over the top of my stencil, kind of like I'm buttering bread, and then removing the excess so I don't have any lines in my design. And then I just remove my stencil nice and slow so that if there are any missing areas, I can put my stencil back down, but it's not needed for this one. So that one looks great. And then I'm gonna remove it from the tacky mat because I don't want to heat it up with the tacky mat behind it. And then I'm gonna quickly do my other one because you do wanna do the puff ink you do wanna heat the puff ink when it's wet. So I'm just gonna do these really fast so that I can then heat them at the same time as well. All right, and then I'll remove that one from the tacky mat too. And now I'm ready to grab the heat gun. So I'm just using a regular Seek 1 heat gun today, and I do have it on the hottest it will go. And it does take a little bit of time, so you just want to heat your whole design. And once you start seeing the puff appear like this, you don't want to overheat it because that can deflate the puff. So you just want to heat it until you start seeing the ink transform. And just make sure you are doing this on a heat-safe surface. I'm doing this on a cement floor, and I did remove the bib off of the tacky mat before doing it. Otherwise, the tacky mat will warp. So here you can see that it is slightly raised. It's kind of hard to see on camera, but in person you can definitely feel the texture. And then the instructions say to wait 72 hours before washing. So that is exactly what we're gonna do. We're gonna let these sit and then do a wash test.
All right, so I took these home, washed them, and they held up great. I just put them in the washer with a regular load of clothes. I washed them on warm. It doesn't have any instructions on the bottle on how to wash them, so I just did it in a regular load, regular laundry, and then put them in the dryer. And it definitely still has the raised, feel on the bib. So it held up really nice. It doesn't have any flaking, and it still looks really good. And if you're interested in seeing more videos on how to screen print using Ikonart, check out this video right here. My name is Fawn and I share videos on how to make Ikonart stencils and use them. So if you're interested in more craft videos like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button below and hit the notification bell so you get notified every time we upload.